All right, welcome. It's the Friday episode of The Stretch. We have the one and only Tom Waddle joining us to break down the Bears season, which starts Monday night. And a great way to celebrate the Bears is with Miller Lite. It's Bears season and the 50th anniversary of Miller Lite. Bears game days are incomplete without those Miller Lites. It's the great taste you can depend on. A beer trusted by beer lovers for 50 years. Miller Lite is brewed for great taste. Simply put, it just hits different. 96 calories and just 3.2 grams of carbs per 12 ounces. Miller time is always a good time. We're going to be having lots here. We're going to be doing the stream on Monday night. Miller Lite, the original light beer since 1975, of course, and still iconic 50 years later. I mean, set your watch to it. It's Miller Lite. We're going to get those gold cans. We're going to have a good football season. It's going to be powered by Miller Lite. So Miller Lite, it's the official beer partner of the Chicago Bears. Just go to MillerLite.com/stretch. You can find those delivery options near you because you don't want to be leaving your couch Monday Night Football. Or this is Chicago. You can pick up Miller Lite anywhere they sell beer. It's always Miller time in Chicago. So celebrate responsibly. Miller Brewer Company, Milwaukee, Wisconsin. 96 calories and 3.2 carbs per 12 ounces.
All right, welcome everybody to the Stretch interview episode. Today we are joined by former Chicago Bear, ESPN 1000, Waddle and Sylvie host, Tom Waddle. Tom Waddle, welcome to the show.
It's great to be here. I'm honored. How are you guys today?
Good.
You guys look a little apprehensive. What's wrong?
No,
That's because of you.
I was in a good mood until I introduced you to Gruden and you guys started talking Bears. And I was like, oh, man, this is going to be another long year.
Wait a second.
Maybe long 5 years.
We were just talking ball. And
I know.
When you get inside some of the nuts and bolts, you don't always have all the answers. There are more questions than there are answers sometimes with this profession.
I think that's very fair to say.
Yeah.
Why?
Listen,
What did he say?
I will say this right now. I am more optimistic than I am pessimistic. I think I'm the only one at the station that has them hitting the over. Number's 8.5, right?
Okay.
Numbers 8.5?
Yep.
I have them winning 9 games. I don't have them going to the Super Bowl. I don't have them being some crazy good team this year. I think it will take some time. But I also have a level of expectation. Come on, guys. Like, this is not a rebuild anymore. You tore it down 4 years ago.
Yeah.
You drafted a quarterback first overall last year. You added a receiver with the 9th overall selection. You spent $80 million improving the inside of your offensive line. You drafted another tight end. DJ got a contract extension. Cole got a contract extension. You drafted Burden at 39.
Pole's got a contract extension.
He got a contract extension as well. And everyone's like, well, it's going to take time. Oh, yeah, they're going to be a better team in week 6 than they are in week 1.
Sure.
But it doesn't have to look like crap in week 1.
No.
Go back and look at what Ben Johnson did in Detroit in 2022, the first year he took over as the OC, okay?
Yeah.
In the first month of the season, they averaged 435 yards at 35 points per game.
Okay.
So you tell – and
good.
then at that point –
I'll take that.
there was no Jamison Williams. There was no Sam Laporta. There was no Jahmyr Gibbs. There was no
Monty.
There was no David Montgomery. I mean, yeah, you had an experienced quarterback in Jared Goff that nobody has given enough credit to. In my humble opinion,
He's been very good.
So look, I don't think it'll look that clean as the 2022 Lions because I think that Jared Goff was further ahead.
Yeah.
But I'm not one of these guys that is just overly patient and thinking, well, this is just going to, got to be patient. Got to wait. No. I mean, the expectation is you should start Monday night at home against a Minnesota team that's very talented, but playing a quarterback who's never played in the league. You should win that game.
Jordan Addison is
but what he's saying is not correlated with what you say. Say you expect them to make the playoffs.
He articulated.
That's not what you said. Like that's different.
Articulated everything that I've been trying to articulate much better than I ever could dream of doing.
You're better at this job than Dave.
Which is odd because I got hit in the head a ton.
I know. I
would
have
think he
CTE
did.
brain without even having CTE brain.
Yes,
but
I definitely have CTE.
I have it without ever playing football. I'm just an idiot. But my expectation for the Bears is that they fucking hit the ground running and they win football games because it's year 4. Everything you just said, from the number 1 overall quarterback draft pick. 2 years in a row they had the first pick.
Year 4. It's year 2 of the quarterback. It's year 1 of a new head coach.
But it's the rebuild started 4 years ago. All the money it's go time.
Sure.
It is ready to go.
I don't think they have as many excuses as they did in the past.
They don't. They don't.
Right.
That's fair.
And to your point right now, like in year 1 of Ben Johnson's office, the Detroit Lions lit it up with a bunch of no names.
Yeah.
And Jared Goff, obviously, but
Jared Goff was cast aside.
Exactly.
He was a throw-in to the Stafford deal.
Right.
They wanted nothing to do with him.
Got rid of him.
Yeah.
Because your words, Waddle, I don't think it has to look like crap. Sure, it doesn't have to be, but I think it will. I think it will look like crap week 1. I think it's going to be a rock fight.
Eddie,
I really do.
Are you serious?
I do.
I agree with you. I don't think it'll be a high-scoring game. I think it'll be a low-scoring game. Look, Brian Flores blitzes more than any coordinator in the league. He is dynamic with all of his game plans. Also, Caleb was the most blitzed quarterback in the league last year, so you know what's coming. Ben Johnson has coordinated against a Brian Flores defense 4 times so far. Brian came to the Minnesota Vikings in 2023, correct? Mm-hmm. In those 4 outings, the Green Bay Packers averaged over 380 yards and 30.5 points per game in those 4 outings. So, again, I don't know that it's necessarily an apples-to-apples comparison, but nothing that Brian Flores does on Monday night should surprise a guy who has game planned for his defense over the course of the last 2 years. So, I'm not suggesting that guarantees you that the Bears are going to come out and hang 40 on the Vikings, but you shouldn't be surprised by what you see. Now, again, this is a players' league. The coach can only do so much. I'm thrilled with Ben Johnson. I love Ben Johnson more than I love the air that I'm breathing. I love his staff. I think his staff is fantastic. This is the best hire the Bears have had, and I can't tell you how long. But when the ball is in the air on Monday night, there's only so much coaching you can do. Now it's up to the players to execute, and that's the question. Are they capable of executing at a high enough level to beat a Minnesota team that has talent on both sides of the football?
Yeah, am I confident that Ben Johnson is going to have a better game plan against Brian Flores than Luke Getsy and Shane Waldron? Yes.
You would have a better game plan.
Yes, unequivocally, 100,000%. Am I confident that the thing that Caleb Williams struggled with the most last year is going to magically disappear in week 1? No, I'm not.
What is the thing he struggled with most last year, in your opinion, Tom?
I think playing on time, playing in structure, playing, 1, 2, 3 balls got to come out. I think if I could give Caleb, who's not interested in my advice, but if I could give him 2 pieces of advice or 2 things I mentioned to him. First of all, leave your cape in the locker room. You don't have to do it all by yourself. Mm-hmm. And I think that was his biggest flaw is in coming from, look, he won a Heisman Trophy doing just that, being Superman. When you get to this level, everybody's good. You can't win consistently trying to do it all yourself. So leave your cape in the locker room and trust the offense and trust the guys you're in the huddle with. So trust that the play that's coming in is designed to attack what you're expecting to see. Mm-hmm. And trust that huddle filled with all of these talented players, that those guys are going to do their job. So if that means dropping back and you hit your third step and you throw a 5-yard hitch route to DJ Moore, don't be looking to throw the deep ball. Take the layup and let DJ do the hard work. And I think if he can come to terms with that and kind of rid himself of that tendency to want to do it all by himself. The kid has so much talent. But I think last year that was his biggest issue is he tried to do too much and didn't play within the structure of the offense. And I think it manifested itself in him taking 68 sacks. A lot of them were on him.
Do you give him credit for only throwing 6 picks? Does he take care of the ball?
Such a great question. I do. But I would much rather have a quarterback throw 29 touchdowns and 12 interceptions than a quarterback that throws 20 touchdowns and 6 interceptions. Okay. I don't want you to be reckless, but I want you to be aggressive. Mm-hmm. So I do want you. There were times when they wouldn't even work the middle of the field. I think because maybe Eberflus and whichever, idiot quarterback carousel coach that was in his ear that take care of the ball. Yeah, you got to take care of the ball, but you also have to spin it. Open in the, trust me, I know for a fact, open in the NFL is different than open at the collegiate level. I was rarely open. So my quarterback had to trust that I would be where I needed to be and that if he threw it there, my dumb ass was going to catch it. And I think that there's the trust factor. That window might not look like it's open because it was significantly more open when you were playing Oregon.
Yeah.
But when you're playing, the Jets or you're playing the Giants, that window shrinks to this, and you just have to trust your receivers to go get the football. So, yeah, I'm glad he took care of the ball, but I think at times there wasn't enough aggression from him with how he approached throwing it downfield.
But I think you lean more of a positive on that side. I would.
Yeah. I don't want some guy out there handing it to the other
because that
team.
goes into the Cape side,
Yes,
where he thinks
right.
he could make it happen. Although, like, the interceptions could kind of be bundled in taking the most sacks in a sense.
Yeah, that's true.
'Cause
it's like that ball should be out, and if it's a pick, it's a pick. But at least you're playing on time.
Yes.
Yeah, that's a good point.
I think I think the lack of aggression to me was obvious at times, and I think the decision making and the processing, and look, it's a delicate balance. It's the most difficult job in all of professional sports to be a high level professional quarterback. You got to know when to take your layups and when to take the easy ones, and then you got to know when to press your luck a little bit. But if you've done the homework and you've done the film work and you know the tendencies of the cornerbacks and the safeties and the linebackers, you kind of know where the windows are going to be in certain situations. So you get to the line of scrimmage, you see the look, and that's what's difficult about Brian Flores. The look you see before the ball snap completely changes maybe 3 times, while the ball snapped. But
I'm terrified of his defenses. Like, even as we went to the game up there, and they were just sculling us to death all night long,
everywhere.
and you could tell within, I don't know, 4 plays that it was going to be a very long.
But this is where the key. Remember when we were playing here, and maybe it was there. I forget what it was when Justin Fields. I think it was here. First play of the game, Justin was not aware of what his responsibility was. First play of the game, he got sacked off the left side of the offensive line because he didn't account for that pass rusher that the O-line couldn't protect. That's what I mean about a quarterback being ready for it. Yeah. Like, you see these things, you see the tendencies, you watch the film, you know what it's going to look like. So if you're prepared for it, makes it a lot easier.
That's a game he got hurt in too. He hurt his hand. I remember the first half.
Yeah.
And then that's some Beijing.
You have been talking a bunch, like even in your conversation with Coach Gruden downstairs, about how you're not sure if Caleb Williams can play in structure. Obviously, he has all that arm talent and physical talent in the world, but you're not sure if he can play in Ben Johnson's structure. Is there? And I know this is just a preseason game, but the first drive granted it was the 2s against Kansas City. To me, that looked like he was playing in nothing but structure. Like, first play,
that was
bang.
the best he's ever looked.
That's the best he's
You
ever
mean
looked.
against Buffalo? The Buffalo.
Was it?
Whatever the second preseason.
Yeah, it might have been against
Buffalo.
Buffalo. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Against Buffalo. Hit Loveland for like 8 yards right off the rip.
1, 2, 3 ball.
1, 2, 3 ball out over the middle to, was that DJ or whoever it was?
Yeah. That's the way it's supposed to look.
That's the way it's supposed to look, and we all saw that, and we're like, what the hell is going on? This looks right,
Yeah.
Do you think that that's something that can be built on for an entire game instead of just a scripted drive in the preseason, or is that like?
No, I do. Listen, they didn't game plan for any of the preseason opponents, and Ben said that. I mean, he was like, "Look, we just went out there and we called plays, and I think it'll be entirely different when you do game plan for a team."
Mm-hmm.
Look, to kind of like back away from it,
good.
The entire offense, it works. Whether it's your 1s or it's your 2s or your 3s, this offense, I mean, look at some of the stats from the 3 preseason games. And I get it. It's make-believe football at times. But that group, I want to say they averaged, 30 points a game and 400 yards a game. They were 22 of 44 on third downs. They only gave up 6 sacks. They turned it over 1 time. Time of possession was 36 minutes. I mean, they took care of the football, and whether it was the 2s or the 3s, it was Bajan, it was Case Keenum, whoever it was, the system works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
It worked. It was on full display. Now, will it work when it's your 1s only against their 1s and they're game planning for you and you're game planning for them? I mean, that's a $64 trillion question. Right. So I do think, look, there are a lot of questions. I know this for sure. Caleb Williams is infinitely talented. The head coach is brilliant. The offensive line is better. There are weapons in that huddle. That's why my expectation level is maybe a little bit higher than others, because it should work. They've invested in this. It should work. It may be a bit clunky at times. But I got to tell you, like, when you come out of the huddle, if they have an illegal procedure penalty or delay of game penalty early, I'm gonna pull my hair out.
I'll lose my phone.
Yeah. I mean, you realize last year one of their biggest problems was they got off to such slow starts. I think in 11 of their 17 games they went 3 and out in their first possession.
And I don't think they scored a touchdown in the first half until like week 8 or 9 or something.
I don't know what you're talking about with CTE, Brain, because your recall for these games going back
here's
years.
The deal. Listen,
football guy.
When you're limited athletically, you have to. The game has got to be more kind of
Yeah.
Hard work, dedicated to the craft. And so I could recite anything to you. I just couldn't go out and run a 40 under 4 seconds.
Now, we talk about how it's going to take time. I think we all agree about that.
Not too much time.
Yes, not too much. Well, that's why I want to ask you about. So a big point of emphasis on this offense is trusting to throw it to the spot where the receiver is going to be.
Yeah.
The trust between the wide receiver and the quarterback, how long does that take?
Well, I mean, it takes time, but at this point, he's worked with a lot of these guys. I mean, DJ's tendencies, Rome's tendencies, Cole Kmet's tendencies. You've worked enough with Colston Loveland and Luther Burden. You kind of should know what those guys are going to do on particular routes. I think that the best example of the cohesion and kind of being on the same page was him and Zacchaeus. I thought Zacchaeus had as good a training camp. I was up there a ton, and that kid just delivers on every single play. Like, I think he's very reliable. I think Caleb is very comfortable with him. The one I thought last year, one of the problems Caleb's had was when things got a little hairy, he looked at Keenan Allen all the time. And I thought that kind of slowed the development of Rome Odunze because he had developed such a good relationship with Keenan leading up to the season. And Keenan's a borderline Hall of Fame receiver. He's great at the end of towards the end of his career, but I thought there was too much of a reliance on that. So you got to trust more than one person, Mm-hmm. I got to trust everyone in my huddle. And I can't just, when times get tough and the temperature's, heated, you can't just go to one guy. Because, defensive coordinators, your tendencies are on display at all times. So
they'll key on that.
Yeah.
All right, David. It's game on. It's week one.
Game on, week one.
It's the NFL season, and every touchdown can bring you closer to a payout with the DraftKings Sportsbook, an official sports betting partner of the NFL. Every touchdown could hit big. Don't just watch the game when you can win with it. DraftKings Sportsbook brings the unmatched intensity of the NFL straight to your fingertips, whether you're backing the first touchdown scorer, hitting an anytime touchdown prop, or riding the thrills of live in-game betting. You got to get a little feel for it. That's why I love that live betting. So every play is packed with possibility. New customers, this one's for you. Bet just $5 and get $300 in bonus bets instantly. Plus, grab over $200 off NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV. Hell of a deal. Make sure you're getting on that. So your season starts now. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app and use code STRETCHPOD, that's one word, STRETCHPOD, to get $300 in bonus bets instantly when you bet just $5. Plus, like we said, over $200 off on NFL Sunday Ticket from YouTube and YouTube TV in partnership with DraftKings. The crown is yours. And I also want to talk to you guys about our people at Chevy Drive Chicago. Everyone knows I'm the Blazer guy. Chevy Drive Chicago has everything you need to shop and buy smart at your local Chevy dealer. Great styles, the latest tech. You'll look good and feel good about what you're driving. First-hand experience. I look good in that Blazer every single day. Now's the time to get into the Chevy family of EVs, the Equinox EV, the Blazer EV, the Silverado EV. They've got them all. Take advantage of all the incentives. Don't wait. Go to ChevyDriveChicago.com to find your local dealer and drive one today. So you just plug in your zip code. The local dealer pops up. You go right over there. Head to ChevyDriveChicago.com to find that local dealer today.
You can also get your car serviced there. You can get your tires rotated, your oil changed, all that good stuff. And I'd be remiss. The Blazer got us to and from Camp Barstool with just incredible. We looked good in it.
Piece of cake.
Right?
ChevyDriveChicago.com.
Chicago.com.
What do you think their best, or what do you think their most used personnel package will be? Because it's like, I love Cole. I'm excited about Loveland. They add Zacchaeus. You have the guys on the perimeter. What do you think that they'll end up settling as? Like, this is where we're most comfortable.
Well, I think history tells you if Ben's in charge that it's 12 personnel. I think that they were second or third in terms of most two tight end plays run last 3 years in Detroit. Look, Colston Loveland was a Ben Johnson pick, so they're going to have him play a large. I think they're going to have him play a large role in this offense. So I think you'll see a lot of 12 personnel. I like Cole Kmet as a player. I thought he was miscast in a lot of ways the last few years.
He was cast as a ghost last year.
Yeah,
well,
they didn't use him at all.
Yeah. But you can't split him out and expect him to play like Hawkinson or Kittle or McBride, the kid from Arizona. He's an inline wide tight end. He's great in the red zone. He's good next to a tackle. You just got to use him appropriately. Oddly enough, I thought that Cole was most effective in Luke Getsy's offense. If you go back and look at the numbers, Luke did a really good job using him in the red zone and playing to his strengths. And I don't think there's any doubt that Ben's going to get the most out of all of these guys because he knows what a good receiver and a good tight end looks like. But I think you'll see a lot of 12 personnel. I think you'll see a lot of 2 tight ends. I think we've been infatuated with the passing game since camp started. It's Caleb Williams. It's Ben Johnson. The foundation of Ben's offense is running the football.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't be shocked at all if they come out pounding the rock. And the Vikings were second or third in the league last year, I think, in yards, rushing yards allowed. But they gave up 4.1 yards per carry. So you can move it on them. So I think that they'll run the football more than maybe some people are expecting.
I hope so. I'm a little bit worried about all the injuries they've had at that position. So it feels like it's DeAndre, which he's not exactly a bell cow kind of guy.
No. I think, though, at our station, Carmen and Yurko have zero use for running backs. I'm not quite there. I know the position has been devalued some.
Yeah.
And I agree with their premise that, you could hand it to one of us, and if there's a gaping hole, we can get 4 or 5 yards. Yeah. I think it starts with your offensive line, which should be upgraded. I think they're fine there for now. But look, I was an advocate of them drafting Trevion Henderson. That was one of the guys that I was infatuated with coming out of the draft as just a guy that would be a difference maker. I think they'll be okay there for now.
Mm-hmm. The first day I filled in for Yurko, I sat in that seat, and I suggested that I wouldn't be surprised if the Bears drafted Genty, and you would have thought, the whole studio thought the chair was going to burn on fire. Like, you can't sit in that seat.
They don't value running backs.
You can't sit in that seat and say that.
No, they don't value running backs. I do more than them, but I get their points that, in this game, there are a lot of talented guys. I look at Bucky Irvin last year, I think, for the Bucks was he, a 4th-round pick? He ran for 1,100 yards. So it's because the Bucks line is really, really good, and they commit to running the football. So
Henderson's career is going to be might be painful for Bears fans to watch, I think.
Yeah. Think about this, Eddie. If they would have – now, timing is everything in life. They had, the 10th pick. Kelvin Banks Jr. goes 9 to the Saints, right?
Uh-huh.
I wonder if they would have drafted him if he was available. So they go Loveland. You get to 39. And I think the Bears tried to move up to get Henderson, and no one would move. He goes 38. Mm-hmm. So, in the alternate universe, if things had fallen correctly, you could have walked away with Kelvin Banks Jr. and Trevion Henderson. You got Colston Loveland and Luther Burden, 2 really good players, but the draft is the draft, and you have to adjust. But
yeah, and that's where it's like I try to remind myself that this is year 1 of Ben Johnson, because the roster is not going to be exactly what he wants this year. So it's like he has another draft next year. Maybe get Jeremiah Love from Notre Dame or somebody like that, and then all of a sudden he's your who's the Alabama kid? I'm blanking on his name right now with the Lions.
Jahmyr Gibbs.
Jahmyr Gibbs. He's your Gibbs, and you just we are building.
But that Gibbs pick in Detroit was a luxury pick because they had built out their line in other spots.
The media kind of killed them for that.
They did.
They got roasted for it, and then a few months later,
I think we roasted them.
Yeah, like idiots.
Yeah.
And then when all the Genty rumors started, we're like, it's Ben Johnson and trusting Ben.
Yeah.
They were never drafting Genty.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think so.
With all I agree with everything you said. I think you and I are more lockstep. My expectations are through the roof.
I don't know if you like that, Tom.
But
love it.
You are on record as saying I've been more right about the Bears than anybody in this room.
You were right about Justin Fields, and you were right last year.
Eddie Jackson.
You're going to regret
saying
that.
Him.
Yeah.
What were you not right about?
I was more optimistic than him the last couple of years.
And Justin Fields.
And now I
said Eddie Jackson stunk.
I have been beaten down.
Well, look, we all make these mistakes.
Yeah.
My dumb ass said, and I sat on our show and said, they don't have enough on their offensive line. I have no idea why you're not addressing center and tackle. And my God, they can't get to a quarterback. They have no pass rush. Okay, 10 wins. What an idiot, prediction from me. So I was guilty of being a little bit out over my, and I knew the coach wasn't the right guy and said it as well, and still made a 10-win prediction, which was just horseshit. So
okay, well, I think we get caught up this time of year, and I've been like guarding against my own brain.
Oh,
because I am an optimist by
disagree.
nature. What?
You have not been guarding. Your guard is off. You're like fearful of the upcoming season right now.
I am a broken human being.
You are. I can see it in your eyes.
I was going to ask you actually 2 questions right there. So one, what is like, in spite of all the parts which we think are good parts in the offense, it doesn't seem like they have an identity yet, right? Like we don't.
Yeah, but I think that's normal because it's a new coach, new game plan, new faces.
How long is it like, all right, we need to figure out what our identity is as a Bears offense before it's like, oh shit.
I think, what do they say, the bye's week 5, something like that. They talk a lot about, we'll reassess at the bye week. I think that's probably a good mark in the season where you'll figure it out. But again, I may be, the only man on this island, but I don't think that means you should be a completely inept offense until you find your identity. I just don't.
Like you said, if they, in the first series on Monday night, if they have a false start or a legal procedure, 12 minutes, I will lose it. Yeah. Because there's right now, there's to me no excuse for that kind of trash.
Yeah, especially
at home.
Yeah, at home, you invested in Dahlman, Tooney, Jonah Jackson. How much of those interior guys, like how big of a difference does that make for the quarterback?
I think it's huge. I've always felt that quarterbacks are more affected by pressure that comes from in front of them than comes from the side. Like nobody wants to get hit, whether it's from the side or from the, especially like Caleb's, he's 6'1", and I think that, vision and feeling that pressure, it's an issue. So I thought last year that they made a huge mistake not solidifying their center position, especially since, Caleb was coming from a system where all he did was in shotgun. And in this league, you are going to have to be under center some. So I thought that was a huge mistake for them not to secure the interior of their offensive line. They've done that now. So that's kind of, I think what we've done is gone through a series of eliminating excuses, for a lack of a better term. That pocket should be firm. I mean, Drew Dahlman was the guy as a free agent. Joe Tooney's as good a left guard as there is in the league. My concern with Jonah Jackson is, can he stay healthy? I mean, he missed 12 or 13 games last year and missed 4 or 5 the year before that. So, I like the fact that they've secured that spot. That should make your quarterback feel more comfortable and more at ease. So I think that's a huge. I think it's a huge positive.
But it kind of feels like you're just forgetting how week 1 football always is, where we're in line for not even just the Bears, the whole league to be a lot of trash.
Yeah.
It's bad football week 1. It's really bad.
Well, you know why? Because you can't practice. You had 16 batted practices. We had 16 in 3 days.
Yeah, you guys are running triples with no water breaks and all that.
And that wasn't the way to do it. I mean, there's a happy medium, but right now, a
lot of guys don't know what a preseason is.
You're right.
It's
no, I understand. I get that, but
I don't think you do.
Again, I very
don't
much
think you do.
You don't. It doesn't have to look bad on Monday, Ed.
Sure, it doesn't have to look bad.
And my expectation is that it doesn't.
No, but
look bad.
it goes back to the Armstead conversation where it was like when he was with the Saints, he's like, we had Drew, so we were going to be good to go right out of the gates because the offense was the same and he knew everything.
Yeah, we don't have Drew.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. I'm agreeing.
I'm with you. Yeah. No, I got you. That's where I'm like, I don't know.
Listen, Eddie, I'm patient. Like, I'm a patient man. I have 4 daughters. It's ingrained in me. I'm patient.
Yeah.
But I do have a level of expectation and a limited amount of patience because this is the NFL and you've invested so much on that side of the football. So I'm okay if it doesn't look great, especially against a really aggressive Vikings defense, but I just don't think it should look like trash. If you win 21-16, 21-17, I'm thrilled.
I would snap your hand off to agree to that.
Yeah.
So
I wanted to look clean.
How much of I don't want to say negative thought, like the apprehension is just having PTSD, being a former player of the Bears, now working in media in Chicago, being in Chicago the last 35 years or whatever it is, because that is completely fair. Like, you're I understand all that.
Gets beat over the head by Silverman every day. So
that's right. Like that'll test your patience more than a 5-win season. Okay, I've kind of gone the other way though. Like, again, I understand the concept or the thought that I'll believe it when I see it. Totally understand that. I'm on the other side of this. Like, I'm pissed.
I
and I
am
don't
too.
get
I am
pissed.
too.
I'm a low-key kind of middle-of-the-road person most of the time. But, like, I don't have a ton of patience for this team this year. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm a dumbass for saying it. And I know it will take time. And I'm on record saying it'll look better in week 6 than week 1. But, look,
it's contradictory, but, like,
But
yes.
now, is that playing into just losing patience for the organization as a whole?
probably.
Because I think it is.
Yeah.
Because I understand. Listen, there's a lot of inner workings between every company where you're like, maybe there's just more going on that we don't know. Usually there is, right?
Yeah, I mean, we experience that.
We experience it all the time.
Yeah.
All the time. A person that had elementary football knowledge knew that Matt Eberflus was not the guy for the job.
Correct.
How did they not know it?
Exactly. And that, I think, just wore on people in a brutal way.
Yeah.
A brutal way.
And to build on that, we all knew they didn't have enough pass rush. We all knew their offensive line wasn't good enough. And maybe this is why I'm going oppo now, is because I took the bait. Like, I took the hook. You didn't even have to put bait on it. It was just a silver hook laying in the water, and I dove on it like a dumb fish. And I took the bait and said 10 wins. This is probably my resistance to feeling that way, is that this is the right coach.
Yeah.
This quarterback was drafted first overall. You addressed the interior of your offensive line. You brought in more weapons. So don't come to me on Tuesday and say, well, we're still working on stuff. That's why we had 205 yards and 7 points. Yeah, I mean, that's not where we are. We're not the Titans.
Now, to be fair, and what I think is good, is I don't think the head coach is like that either.
I'm with you on
Which is good.
Yeah.
I think he does have those expectations, which is good.
If he expects that, why can't we?
Well, what?
I mean, explain what we got.
If he has those expectations of himself, then why can't we expect that of him?
But, like, I don't think anyone here is doubting Ben Johnson.
No,
It's
not at all.
It's the quarterback and everything else. So, the Ben Johnson hire to me felt like such a 180 from the Eberflus process, where it was like, wait, we're going through this. It's the Chicago Bears. It's one of the best cities in the world, and you end up with a defensive coordinator of a team that just went 8-8. How does that happen? Where this time it's like, give him the bag. He's the number one guy, and they went out and got him. So if I'm listening to the positives of the angel at my shoulder, it's like, that is different.
That's
enough.
where I'm coming from.
Okay.
Yeah. That's where I'm coming from. It's finally starting to make sense to me. Sports, I look at all sports and I just say, make it make sense. Make it make sense to me. Yeah. And if you win, great. If you don't, but it makes sense in the approach that you took, then at least I can understand it. It hasn't made sense over the course of the last several years based on what you said. It makes sense now. Ben Johnson cost them $13 million. They had never fired a coach in the middle of the season. They did it. I call it the Kevin Warren effect, that Kevin has convinced them at the very least to get out of their comfort zone and do some of the things that some of the other teams in the National Football League do. Bringing Ben Johnson to town, I think, was a godsend. I was confident that it was going to happen, and I was hoping that ultimately that was the case. But I think they hit a home run with him. Again, that's where I may be out over my skis. Who knows? Who knows? I think Ben is great at what he does. And again, I don't think it's just Ben. Ben assembled a group that, Dennis Allen's an accomplished DC. Antoine Randall-L's not going to take shit from anybody. Neither is Eric Bieniemy. Neither is Al Harris in the secondary. Like, if there's anybody that can connect with Tyreek Stevenson and get him the most out of him because he's got so much talent, I would think Al Harris is probably that guy. So from that perspective, it makes so much sense to me. So if it makes so much sense to me, and I do believe the quarterback has talent, why should I limit what my expectations are even this season? I'm not saying Super Bowl. I'm not even predicting them to go to the playoffs. I just think there is no excuse for this to look anything like it's looked the last 3 years. That's all I'm saying.
And you just took the words out of my mouth, and I know he's giving me.
No, he didn't.
Yes, he did.
You would never be able to come up with those words.
No, never. It's just crazy.
Those thoughts, though,
We're
are
here, man.
we're kindred spirits.
I always say that I'm the White Sox Dave, interpreter. It might be you. You might be better at it than me. I've known him for 12 years.
I think it's going to be different, and I hate putting and quantifying wins and losses for this season. because it might not end in playoffs, but there is a form or a version of this team that doesn't make the playoffs where we after week 18, even if they're going fishing for the rest of the offseason, where we're like, it's on for this
We're
point
excited
forward.
for next
Yes.
year. All right, new programming obviously here at Barstool this week on Fox 1. You can stream your favorite live sports so you never miss those. Did you see that moments? That means Fox NFL Sundays are now on Fox 1. So this is the place. This is where you go to anything you might have missed. Just check out Fox 1. You get all the highlights. I have to watch the live sports. I can't stand the spoilers. You got to have it. You got to have it right on Fox 1. So Fox 1 is built for live, edge-of-your-seat plays, jaw-dropping highlights, and the kind of moments that make you shout in your living room like you're at the stadium. So it's NFL Sundays, all streaming live the way it was meant to be watched. So get on that. It's the best way to stay locked in on action, whether you're sweating your fantasy lineup, tracking a parlay, or just riding the chaos live as it happens. So you can start your 7-day free trial today. Offers are subject to change. Go to Fox 1 for complete terms and conditions. Everybody should be doing this for the NFL season, so make sure you're getting on it. Fox broadcast or Fox 1, the only way to get your NFL action for all those all the action this coming week, this weekend. It's here. It's now. We made it to football season. It's the best. I also want to talk to you guys about my number one play of the season. It's the Icon Pass. Go full send when it comes to more joy this winter with Icon Pass. Score access to 60+ unique destinations worldwide, more mountains, more powder, more winds, more highlights from first chair to that last après chair. I love a little après ski, and I love the Icon Pass. So this is like the best deal in the world. I feel like people don't know about it. So starting at $329 for an adult, lock in as low as $0 and 0 APR with a payment plan. Terms do apply. So rally the crew, plan ahead now so you can shred later. Buy your Icon Pass now at ikonpass.com. Your ski season starts right here. So I love skiing. Got to do a trip or two every winter. Even if you're only doing a trip or two, the Icon Pass is such a game changer, such a great deal. So the Icon Passes are going up, so make sure you get on this so you can claim those 60+ destinations this winter, because those savings do end on October 9th. So move fast. You got about a month. Get your Icon Pass. I can't recommend it enough. Big ski guy. Lance is an outdoor guy. Get your Icon Pass.
Listen, yes. I can build you a bridge to 3-1 to start the season, and feel confident that I'm not just being a whack job.
And I can build you a bridge to 1-3. It's just
okay. Let me give you my take, and then you give me your take. Okay, you should beat the Vikings at home. JJ McCarthy may
first
turn
game
out
ever.
To be,
yeah.
I mean, Ben Johnson's aware of what Brian Flores is doing. You're at home, which means Tom Thayer says this all the time. Such a salient point too is that you control the noise. So if you're struggling with pre-snap penalties and all that other stuff, you have an advantage over the defense because you know when the ball is going to be snapped and you're not going on a silent count.
Yep.
So that advantage exists that it wouldn't exist if you were playing up in Minneapolis. So that's advantage Bears, especially early on. This is a game I think you should win. Game 2, if you go to Detroit and they beat you, fine. I think Detroit's going to struggle a little bit with who they are with a new offensive and a new defensive coordinator. They have a better roster than us across the board probably, but okay, we'll give them a loss. The Cowboys at home in week 3, I think that team is searching for their own soul right now after the Micah Parsons trade. And then you go to Vegas. Like, that's a home game for the Bears in Vegas. And you're playing a Raiders team that's trying to find their way. So I can feel good and don't feel like a clown by saying to you, yeah, I can see this team at 3-1. So hit me with 1-3.
1-3. Obviously, you open the season. You go against the number one blitzing defense. Monday Night Football. The best wide receiver in football, Justin Jefferson.
Questionable.
Yes, we don't know.
Addison.
Jordan Addison's out. Yeah, I get that. Now, not gonna lie to you, I did wake up today and I was like, JJ McCarthy at Soldier Field. Like maybe we get the best of him, but. Sure.
You know, the first game J.J. McCarthy ever went to in the NFL was a Bears-Vikings game at Soldier Field.
Oh, really?
Jim is a friend of mine, and they're a great family, solid family. And I hope J.J. has a great career. I hope they lose Monday night, but it's going to be an interesting set of nerves for him for that reason.
He's probably going to have a ton of friends and family in the stands and everything, you know.
So you got them losing in your scenario.
Yeah, week
here.
1 they lose.
So
week 2 is Detroit.
Week 2 is Detroit, self-explanatory.
Mm-hmm.
Just a better football team.
Yep.
Sure, they lost some coaching. I don't think Jared Goff. I don't think Amon-Ra St. Brown is going to forget how to play football.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Like they are gonna.
Okay.
They're gonna. And their schedule's brutal, so they have to. The Cowboys is tricky because I do think the Cowboys were a product of having the year from hell last year to some degree. Of course, I had this kind of baked in my brain before the Micah Parsons trade. Things might change now. Interested to see how they look tonight against the Eagles. But I think Dak is better than what people give him credit for. I do.
Yeah, he's a good
CeeDee Lamb's a top 2 wide receiver in football. And then I do think that we will beat the Raiders.
So you got him 2-2.
No. I mean, well, now I change. Yes. Well, I don't know.
They're only one off.
I'm still like baking about Monday. I am. And that's as of today.
I think they're gonna kick the shit out of the Vikings on Monday.
I do not.
I don't share that.
I just wanted to see his face. Right?
Okay.
That's honestly, I'm not kidding you. That changed September 4th. That changes today. Where I'm like, all right, maybe we can win this game.
And I think I am the number one JJ McCarthy believer. And I think he's, and I love their coach too.
I do too.
So I
He's a
think
stud.
Listen, people want to. I get the skepticism, but JJ, you didn't ask him to do anything in Michigan. He had a 72% completion percentage. He was 5-1 touchdown to interceptions, and what you asked him to do, who knows? If you asked him to done more, maybe the numbers would have been even better. So I don't know. And I'm with you. I believe in Kevin O'Connell.
Yeah,
100%.
And JJ's got a hose. He's a good athlete. I think, if the Bears can't pressure him, because that's like you're right about Sweat, largely unimpressive other than that first half year.
Yeah, a lot to prove.
But can Dennis Allen dial some things up?
It's going to have to. But I mean, what was one of the things that I thought was most concerning about the Bears defense last year is they couldn't stop the run.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of Aaron Jones. I think a lot of the kid Jordan Mason, I think, that played at San Francisco last year is now on their roster too. So, look, I mean, goal number 1 for Dennis Allen and that Bears defense is you have to stop the Vikings running game because they're going to try to support the young quarterback by running the ball. And then on passing downs, you got to bring some heat and showing some things that maybe he hasn't seen yet.
And then on the flip side, listen, they won 14 games last year.
Yeah.
14 games of Sam Darnold. Can he just play Sam Darnold-ish? Like, that's still a 14-win team coming in.
Yeah, I mean, I don't see JJ throwing 35 touchdown passes.
No.
Like, you don't have to.
Could it be Sam Darnold light? And that's what I'm saying. And I still think that gets them.
He can run their offense.
Yeah, 11 to 12 wins.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm not one of these that believes the Vikings are falling off the edge of a cliff this year. I think that they upgraded themselves at the line of scrimmage, too, on both sides. Like, what makes me more concerned about Brian Flores is they added Jonathan Allen and Javon Hargrave, like to Grenard and Van Ginkel. I don't know if Van Ginkel's. I mean, I know he's a little banged up. My guess is he's going to play. That's a monster front seven that they bring to the building. So that's a good football team. That's a really good football team.
Totally. And I think a big thing here is too, we're all banking on Montez Sweat becoming what he was when we initially traded for him
And paid him $100 million.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm having nightmares of him.
They're already
being
talking
that.
about
I've
that's-
convinced myself that Kyler Gordon is going to be like top 3 in the
sack
team.
leaders.
Yeah.
Kyler Gordon's one of their best players.
Yeah.
I mean, if a football nerd, you watch him a lot. The nickel corner spot is really important in this league these days, and I think he's as good at it as anybody else in the league. Mm-hmm. His problem has been at times he hasn't been healthy for a full 17.
Yep.
He's got the hamstring now. One of my biggest concerns and one of the reasons why I would waver about the Monday night game is I don't know what kind of shape Jalen Johnson's in. I don't think he's taken any real practice snaps yet.
Is he gotten to the point where he hits the ground running, kind of like riding a bike?
But
is that even a thing for a DB?
Dennis Allen plays more man too,
Yeah.
so it's like
Right.
they're asking him to do different things.
Right.
I think it's easier for him because he's such an accomplished player that he'll go out there and he's not going to look awful. My concern would be is where's his conditioning, and if you're Kevin O'Connell, one of the smartest guys in the league, you keep an eye on it, you see what he's doing, his body language, and maybe in the second half you start going at him.
Attacking him. Yeah.
So that would, if he's 100% healthy, I'll take Jalen Johnson on anyone in the league these days.
Yeah.
But if he's not he doesn't look. I don't even know if he's going to be active.
Yeah.
We think he's going to play, but from what I understand, I don't think he's taken a single snap in practice up to this point. Maybe from now to Monday, there will be some, but my big concern with him is conditioning, and I have the same issues.
This is where the offense has to help him too,
Yeah.
because if you can shorten the game and have some long drives,
and the pass rush would help too. I'm with you. I don't know who Montez Sweat is.
Yeah,
And the kid at Dangbo, like, you gave him $34 million. I saw him preseason. I saw Josh Simmons, a rookie out of Ohio State, handle him for the first 30 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
And Booker's hurt.
Yeah. So I don't know where the pass rush is going to come from.
Right.
yeah.
Dennis Allen's brain is
Now you guys have talked me into maybe wavering on my selection on Monday.
welcome. Yeah.
No, I'm sticking.
Have you
Bears
got any
win.
boots on the ground up in Minnesota? Any eyeball spies? That
I don't think so. I don't have anybody telling me. Like I said, we're having on our show today. We're having Jim McCarthy, JJ's dad, but he's not going to sell any secrets to us.
Yeah.
Even though he's
You're going to try to get him though.
no doubt.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no question. So Jefferson, 100%, maybe 50%, something like that. I don't.
What are your son's biggest fears?
Yeah, I don't think it's take it big. How scared is your son to play in his first NFL
Yeah.
game? No, I think playing in a big program like that, I don't think JJ's
national
gonna be
championship
scared to play.
Yeah.
It is kind of funny though. That's the biggest one of the biggest matches of the game, Jefferson versus Johnson. We don't know.
We don't even know
They
the
could
either.
both be out.
We don't know.
Yeah.
How about there's 3 JJs? Jalen Johnson, Justin Jefferson, JJ McCarthy.
Mm-hmm.
See, that's the kind of knowledge you get from me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally meaningless,
Yeah.
completely hollow, but something I
Is
recognize.
that what you think when you're playing pickleball? You're like, 3 JJs. Like it just comes to you.
No, I'm thinking about not tearing my Achilles, and hopefully getting out of here without any serious knee injury as well.
When's the big match with Jesse?
With Jesse Rogers and his son, first of all, I'm very confident that my daughter Leah and I will absolutely murder the Rogers family. But I got to fit it in. Jesse's too busy hounding Craig Counsell and asking him shitty questions. No, I'm joking. Jesse's great. But I think I'm a heavy favorite. The Waddles are heavy favorites over.
Good athletes with the Waddles. D1
Not
daughters,
bad.
right?
Yeah, they were
Was
all
Leah?
soccer players.
Yeah.
Leah went to Vanderbilt, had a back injury, quit after her freshman year,
Screens
which kind of
too.
sucks because she had a full scholarship.
That does suck.
And then
It
I
sucks
had to-
for you.
I had to pick up the final 3 years of tuition at like $80,000 a year.
So you're working the post game this year? Or what?
No doubt. I'm working the pregame, the postgame, the after post.
He's got marquee on Sunday coming up. Yeah.
I'm mowing the lawn out in Hallis Hall if they asked me
Forrest
to.
Gump.
My God. So, yeah, but we got, thank goodness, my wife was a good athlete. She played soccer at BC. Her dad was a great football player. Played for the Patriots, was all-time leading scorer in the history of the AFL. So I'm the weak link in my family by far.
Waddles minus 400 is what it sounds like.
I if you can get that, lay it.
Okay. All right.
More like minus 1,000.
Okay. All right.
Crazy.
What do you think about your guy Harbaugh? He technically plays tonight.
I love that guy more than any other team that I ever played with. He'd fight you over a French fry. I mean, that's how competitive he is. Somebody told me a story the other day. I was with Jim Morrissey several months ago, and Jim and Jim were really good friends, and Cap Boso was another good friend of ours. And so I think it was Jim Morrissey and Cap Boso against Jim Harbaugh and somebody else. They were playing volleyball on July 4th, like decades ago, behind their condo association. And it got physical, and it got to the point where I think they had to call the Deerfield police to break it up. Nice. So, I mean, I think that's a pretty accurate story. The moral of the story, though, is that Jim is the ultimate competitor. I've seen that guy take any number of vicious hits and get back in the huddle and compete. Look, he marches to the beat of a different drummer, but I love everything about his approach, and I cheer for him every time his team is playing.
And he wins everywhere. He's
Everywhere,
won.
yeah.
Who had them going 11-6 last year?
No one.
Nobody.
Undefeated against the spread in week 1 in his whole career.
Really? Yep. That's a nice little fact.
Playing the Chiefs, though.
That game's in where? Brazil?
Brazil.
What a horseshit decision.
Yeah, why do they keep doing that?
Well, they're trying to grow the game internationally, I guess.
Yeah, but
can you
it's-
imagine being on a team that had to fly?
It's an 11-hour
to
flight.
play,
It's
and then play on a shitty field?
Waddle, be
Yes.
careful because they might make you the Bears ambassador to San Juan, and then
They're not making me the Bears ambassador to anything.
Listen, I don't know. That's what I talked to Mangold. I saw him at the airport, and he was the Jets ambassador to London. I was like, oh, I didn't even know it was a thing. He's like, yeah, it's nice.
That's not a bad
Just
gig.
fly out there a few
Yeah.
times, and I just do whatever. So
I'm
just
way
saying,
down the totem pole for being any type of ambassador. So
I'm just looking out, for the W-2. Try to.
I'm not going to
Brazil.
Brazil. Under no circumstances am I going to the Brazil for an NFL football game. I'll
I
sit on my couch and watch.
I got another little question for you. Luther Burden said number 87 sucks, and he has switched to number 10.
Yeah.
I don't harbor any
Okay.
ill will.
All right. Well,
You
put it in
know,
the rafters then.
I mean, listen, somebody sent me a text the other day and said, well, he at least got a what was it, a 10th and a half faster on his 40 time by taking that jersey off. He's a tremendously talented player. I love watching him in camp. If you can keep him focused and dialed in, he's something else. He changed his number again.
Yeah,
twice.
Guys keep getting cut, so we went from 80. He couldn't get rid of 87 fast enough, so I think he went 87 to 13 to 10.
You gotta pay though, right? It's like a fee you gotta pay every time.
I don't think
Depends
it's
on
till
who
the
has
regular
it.
Yeah.
season starts.
No, not to that. I think you gotta pay the league because of the
think it's-
jersey buyout.
but I think
it's a thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think it's once the regular
87s are
season
for
starts.
sale.
Yeah, I
Burden
I'm
87?
Sure. I mean, I'm sure the NFL shop you could probably buy a Luther Burden 87
Maybe. Yeah.
at the time, right? They
I'm
don't.
sure you could.
Yeah.
They don't.
Sure.
I'm pretty sure. Yeah, you got.
No, you just take the peel off the name tag on the back and put the one you want on.
Yeah.
There was a time I went to the Bears fan convention, and my kids were young at the time, and the orange jerseys, they loved them. And there was a Cade McNown jersey for $10, two of them. So I bought them both, $20, two Cade McNown jerseys. I think he was number 8.
He was.
I took them home, took the name tag off, and told them that they were Maury Buford jerseys, and they were thrilled.
Have
And
you
then they were Grossman jerseys. yeah. Just keep recycle.
have you ever seen yours covered up?
Only in my house. Only in my own house.
Because that's got to be a painful thing to see.
Yeah.
If you see your jersey just reworked
Yeah.
like that.
Nah, not really.
You don't think so?
I mean, there are so many more horrible things people have said or done to me in a football environment.
I'm. You just said it's probably never happened to you. right?
I haven't seen
Yeah,
it.
yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not saying, that it hasn't somewhere somehow, but I haven't seen it. Usually it's, it's a Moose and Muhammad jersey.
Oh, true.
Yeah.
You see 87s
Yeah.
with
Yeah.
Muhammad's name on.
That's why I don't like that number. When he switched it, I was like, I don't like that number because of Moose. I didn't like Moose.
No.
Nah.
So
Moose
wide
was a good
receiver's
player.
going to die.
Some could say this is
Till
where
he got to the
quarterbacks
Bears.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That changes this week.
Okay.
All right?
All right.
I
Is
hope
that fair?
I hope so.
Is that me being too optimistic in your world?
No, well,
I felt like we were going to have a pep rally when I walked in here. Now I feel like I've gone to a funeral.
I woke up in good spirits and I introduced you to Gruden and you guys started talking. I just sat there and listened. I'm like, oh my God, we're going to be horrible. So that's you actually sucked all the joy from me.
That's not true. We were just talking in different ways about certain things.
Yeah.
Like we could have sat there and talked about all the great stuff, but usually when you get together and you talk ball, you kind of talk about the things that keep you itchy and scratchy more
Yeah,
so than the things that
fair.
you're thrilled
Yeah,
about.
that's true.
Yeah.
for sure.
That's just the nature of a conversation, right? Nobody wants to sit down and talk about good things. Everyone wants to sit down and talk about shitty things.
People like to bitch.
Yeah.
Pitching's
Boom.
People like to
Fishing's
bitch,
fun.
Tom.
Yeah.
That's just what it comes down to.
It's fun.
Anything? So this will air on Friday. And what do you guys got anything going on Friday afternoon yet? Do you know?
Oh, I think we're out and about somewhere. I think we're off early because of the White Sox, so it's an
okay.
abbreviated 3 to 5 show.
When are they going to make
nice.
the playoffs again?
Hopefully in my lifetime. Since we carry the team, I have to, I think, speak nicely about them. I spent all year taking pot shots.
Is
at
that
them.
is that the rule? You're not allowed to speak
No,
objectively.
they don't
No,
care.
no,
No, they don't care.
Yeah.
They don't care at all.
Karma
If that's the case, I would have been fired a long time ago.
right?
Yeah.
Carm lets it rip. Sylvie, if things are going wrong for the Cubs, I don't think he can't not.
Oh,
let it rip.
he's
He has
meltdown mode. It's
He
awesome.
has to express himself.
I also think he's the
There's no
only
muzzle on
guy
him.
in the whole city who still cares about the Bulls. Like
He's
it's-
on a boycott. So.
Says he doesn't, but does.
he does.
Yeah.
He
He
absolutely
says
does.
he doesn't, but he does. That's his favorite team.
Yeah, I know. Yeah.
He's on the boycott though.
I know. I'm sure.
Oh, he won't go.
Oh, he won't. He
That's
won't.
it.
Even if you gave him floor seats, he wouldn't go.
But he's not going to watch at home.
He's watching.
As long as he doesn't support the product with his
His
cash.
own
I
dollars.
think, right?
Yeah.
You know better than I do.
Yeah, he didn't get the app or the antenna or whatever it was. I think he tried to buy the antenna, but it didn't work, and he punted on all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who's the craziest on-air host over there?
Yerk. Yerk's the best. Yerk says some shit that's like I can't stop laughing. He's just real, man. He's one of a kind. He was such a great football player too. I don't think he gets enough credit for it. He did the dirty work, at the line of scrimmage. Just a great guy, great personality, smartest guy I know. Most of the stuff he knows is completely meaningless. He is the master of meaningless information, but he is smart as the day is long. Smarter.
Yeah. I didn't know what to expect when I met him, but he is just kind of how he is on the radio.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. But
there's no pretense there.
Right.
There's no ego. There's no nothing. He's Yerk.
Yeah.
This is what you have. This is what you get. And he's completely 100% him.
Yeah, I liked him a lot.
And 100% of the time you're talking to him, he's just thinking of his next tee time.
Yeah.
No question. Well, his time slot moved from 9 to noon, and you would have thought he threw a parade because now he can join his golf league.
Oh, okay. Because I was curious because I thought originally he probably would like the morning golf and then come in and do the show of 12 to 3 and then go home. But
he was doing that, but it would get him a bit tired. And when he would show up, he would fall asleep in his chair occasionally. So now, he can be on his golf course by 1:15, and instead of being in the 9-hole league, he can play in the 18-hole.
Yeah, no, that's good. Good for him. That's a positive life movement.
Great.
Good. All right, the lineup changed. So what is it again?
It's Cap and Jonathan Hood from 6 to 9, and then it's Carm and Yurko from 9 to noon. Then we carry Rich Eisen from noon to 2, and then Chris Bleck and Adam Abdallah commercial free from 2 to 3, and then Sylvia and I come in from 3 to 6:30.
There we go. Waddle, thank you, dude.
Love being here, guys. Thanks
I
for
love having you.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't want it to be so doom and gloom. I hope on Tuesday we're all
You're
happy.
in control. Of
If they win on Monday,
I'm not, though. I'm not.
You're in control of your own emotions.
Yeah, but like we said, this team has just so
Chicago
much.
teams, they control our emotions for us a lot of times.
And especially, I don't know. I just got hit with that too when you're like $12 million. We got some highly paid coaches and managers in this town now.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Him council.
So it should work.
It should work.
Yeah.
Sure, Billy's getting paid pretty good now after that extension.
Mm-hmm.
Highly paid guys. I mean, you would think there would be some more success.
Fingers crossed.
Fingers crossed. All right. That's the show, everybody. Thank you for listening. We'll be back on Monday with Big Cat. We will preview the whole schedule. We'll run down all 17 games, and then we'll break it down on Tuesday. So we'll see you then, and have a good weekend.